Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So we're out here in the carving tent today, getting ready to do some repairs on a customer's carving. The carving I did about a year ago or so. It's getting cracked pretty good here. It's been in a real nice dry spot for a year, and well, it's time to get some repairs. When I get custom orders, I like to let my customers know, let it dry, let's get these big cracks developing or fully developed, bring it to me, and the first repair is on me. No cost to them, they just got to get it to me and be able to pick it up. So today we're going to work on fixing a bunch of cracks here, and I'm just going to bring you guys along for the ride. I know we've done carving repairs before, and I decided, you know what, we'll just do it again. We'll do another. Why not, right? This is real life. These are things that we've got to do, things that need to be done, and I need to repair this carving for my customer. So I'm going to be using my battery saw today, the Stihl MSA 200C. And what I'm going to do is make all these cracks so it's roughly the same thickness. Now, I already went ahead and cut some pieces off on the bandsaw, so these are ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to widen all these cracks and then jam all these pieces in there with some glue, let this thing set up, come back, recarve, resand, repaint, and we should be good. Go through and start making some cuts. Now, if you guys are going to be doing repairs for customers for your own carvings, keep in mind there's a couple things that you should share with the customer prior to doing the job, and that is how it could look different. I've informed my customer that we'll be putting some wedges in here and cleaning it up and repainting, but there's always the chance that she'll see that line. There's always the chance that where it's wood color, the wood's not going to match. It may take time to match. Those are things that they should know. They should know that it could possibly look different or alter the carving a little bit. I mean, sometimes people expect it to look exactly the same. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it does not. So you've got to give them all angles and the things that they could, you know, give them the things that they could expect from the repair. Now, by making cuts like this, I'm determining how wide the crack's going to be. So I don't have to actually cut wedges, but I have to try to cut pieces that are, you know, thin enough to fit in the existing crack. So some of these might be too thick, but we'll see what happens. Another thing to talk about your customer with is a time frame. I always let my customers know that I will do it within my time frame. Because this is a free repair, it's on me. I have to fit it into, you know, my regular work schedule, my existing orders that I have, the kids' schedule. You know, I've got to fit it in just like I would for a custom order, and so I fit it in between other orders and work on it here and there to get the job done. So keep in mind the time frame and those sort of things to talk to your customer about ahead of time. Now, we've made the cuts, we're getting ready to do the repair. I highly recommend the Gorilla Glue. It's usually an orange label. This one's sun faded, but you got this orange label. All right, you guys see it's kind of like a gel looking stuff in there. It will foam and make a big mess. Don't worry about it. We're going to carve that all away and clean it up. The good thing about that is I believe this stuff ends up being waterproof. Let's see. It soaks in for indoor, outdoor use. So I don't use just regular wood glue. Normally I use Titebond 2 on all my woodworking projects that are going to be inside. But because this is going to be outside, we need to make sure it's going to withstand the elements. Now the fun part is sometimes you get this hard little piece on the end. You got to get that off. There we go. Make sure it'll move. And I just start putting it in the cracks. Now this stuff is kind of expensive, and honestly you don't need to overdo it because it expands a lot, right? So keep that in mind. Put it in the cracks though, like so. Now I do one at a time. I like one long crack at a time. I don't want to do a whole bunch in case I have an issue. I don't want that glue to just foam up and create such havoc for me later. So start pushing the wedges in here. Wedges or pieces that we've cut. Finding spots where they fit. Sometimes it's better if they're all cut about the same. Edges or the pieces you cut usually work better if you cut them all the same. It's tough when they're not, because you just made that cut down through here all the same. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Sometimes mine are perfect, sometimes they're not. It just ends up being the nature of the beast, it seems like. Gorilla Glue recommends you wet the surface down. The wood I'm putting in is green. I can feel it's really moist. Well, I should say green. I've had it for a while, but it's really wet. It's been outside getting rained on. So I'm not going to add any more moisture to the wood. I think it's moist enough to activate the glue as it's supposed to. Just trying to find the right pieces here to fit. Trying to orient the pieces that I put in so the grain is running up and down like the grain on the carving. It may not make a difference in the long run, but it's just how I do it. And Gorilla Glue does not come off easy. Get this stuff on your hands, it is a hot mess. And it's going to be with you for probably a couple weeks sometimes. Well, 1 to 2 weeks at least. You got to scrub really good to get this stuff off your hands, because it makes a mess, let me tell you. We'll break a piece with the grain, stuff it in the end here. A little more glue. Well, see if I can get you a little closer shot here. You guys can see what I'm talking about. It's got all these little chunks of wood glued in here, right? This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm fixing it. And there's a cut from the chainsaw. So we'll put some more glue in there. Tap some more wedges in. Now, it is a good idea to let it sit for a minute. See, all the glue is running down into the crevice, into the crack right now, okay? If I didn't let this sit for a couple minutes and just rolled it over, it's all gonna run right off. So, yeah, don't mind my flops out here. Flop, sweating. I'm kind of just doing this this carving repair video. I know I've already done a few of these. Kind of doing it again, one, because I got to get the job done, and I think it'd be a good video to talk with you guys about things to talk to your customers about. You know, like when you sell a bear, let them know it's gonna split and crack. It's just the nature of the beast. Unless you have really dry wood, the splitting and cracking's done, you're able to make all the repairs before you even sell it. You know, I guess there's carvers that get really dry wood and they're able to do that, but it just doesn't seem to be the norm. I always let customers know that part of the whole owning a carving thing is it's gonna split and crack. It's just gonna do it. It's the nature of it. Why does it split and crack? Sorry, flies are driving me nuts. Here's your log, you're looking down on top of it. So if it dries around the center, it's gonna do this. See my hands coming apart? That's your crack, okay? That's with a slow, gradual dry, it's not in the sun sort of thing. You hope it'll do that. You hope it'll do it in the back of the piece, but as you can see, you can't always determine where that's going to happen, and you got to be prepared to fix it if that's what the customer wants. If you don't want to fix these, you let customers know you're not going to repair cracks. You don't do that. You know, it's going to split and crack. It's part of the piece, and that's just the way it is. I don't like to do business that way. Custom orders, I like to let people know I will repair them. Or if it's a piece that cost several $100s and someone bought it at a craft fair or the store, I let them know, you know, you paid good money for this. I will fix it when it cracks. Just let it dry for a good few years and then come back and we'll do the repair. I hope that the things I'm saying will help the new carvers that watch my channel. I hope I'm giving good tips here on, you know, dealing with your carvings, your customers, the cracking, things to expect, you know, because it's all part of it. I mean, some people are going to be creating carvings just for the fun of it, and some people are going to be creating carvings because they want to make money off it, right? I mean, it's fun to make money off your art. It really is. The good thing about making money off your art, in this case, you can upgrade your tools as you go. You don't need to break the bank the first day. I need a saw, I need grinders, I need bits, I need more saws, my safety gear. You don't need all that. You need safety gear, and you need a saw. That'll get you started. Safety gear and a saw. So I mean, until you can start selling stuff and get going, get rolling, selling some pieces, that's where I would start, you know? It's probably where most of you start. Now a lot of you have been following me for a while and you're like, geez man, we go over this stuff. We've already been over this. I know we have, but not everybody has. Now I also realize not everybody on this channel has been here from the get-go, and it's important that we recap and go over these things every now and then. Now you guys always ask that age-old question, what should I sell my carvings for? Or what do I sell my carvings for, and what should you sell your carvings for? I don't think it's relevant for you to compare your carvings to another artist's, in the sense, like, there's an artist I know, he can get anywhere from $250 to $300 a foot for a carving. Now he charges more too for bigger carvings, but I see him sell bears that are only a foot tall for 250 bucks. He's got stacks of orders for large carvings, a lot of big money pieces, and when he has free time he carves those little ones. You know what? It's quick cash. If people really want something from him that he's made, they pay it. For beginners, that's not always the case, you know. Sometimes you got to go cheaper, you know. You got to go a lot cheaper so you can get your work out there, get it in the hands of customers, get people talking about you, talking about your work, talking about your carvings. If you overprice your work out of the gate but it sells, you may not be able to command a higher price as your work progresses. You know, you get better, you buy more tools, you upgrade, you put a little more time into the piece, a little more forethought. You want to get paid more because the piece looks better. But you can't because you priced it out, meaning you put too high of a price on it when you started. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about prices and pricing. Now, I've got a bunch of older and smaller carvings on my Etsy page, Etsy store. If you guys were to follow the link below, you could go there and you would see prices for some of my carvings. Some of them aren't that great to me, you know, but there are people that love them. So like I always say, keep your first carving if you're just learning, and you know, if you want to sell, work toward improving, but not pricing everything out from the get-go. So, you know, let's say you're going to do 1 foot bears, you know, maybe you want to start at like 40-50 bucks. Okay, there's not a lot of detail. Either you burnt it or you paint it and it looks pretty rough, and let's be honest, you know it looks rough, you're just getting going, right? So think about how in a year you might be able to command $100 a foot, but maybe in your first year you can only get 40, 50, 60. You know, it gives you room to move up. And you got to keep it in mind though too that you should be consciously trying to make your work look better. You know, what techniques can you do? How can you improve the work you're doing to be able to up your pricing, right? pricing is such a tough topic, and I think everybody has a different view on it, and I don't think there's 100% right or wrong way to go about this. So there might be another video you guys watched, or we might even get somebody who carves more than me and does it full time and give you a better idea on pricing below. But I really don't think there's 100% wrong way to do it. Just don't price yourself out in the beginning, especially if you plan on doing this for quite a while and you have a goal to reach to make your bears or your carvings look a particular way. You've got to be honest with yourself. You know, when you jump out of the gate, does it already look like what you want to achieve? Probably not. Most people can't achieve the look they want right out of the gate. It takes time and it takes practice. I'm not achieving the look I want on all my carvings quite yet, and so my prices aren't super high. I like to think they're in the middle of the road. I charge anywhere from $100 to $200 to $250 a foot for a carving for a custom order. It really depends on what we're doing. You know, are we just doing a simple bear? Are we doing a bear with a sign? Are we doing a bird or a dog? Or, you know, I've actually got a full-size lion I might potentially be doing. I've got to nail down the ideas and things like that and really just get the whole project nailed down with the customer. But, you know, that's going to be in a separate price range from doing a bear. So just things to kind of think about, you know, your detail, that's going to change your prices. Does it have a lot of detail? Does it, you know, what kind of paints, or how are you finishing it? Just things to think about, guys. You know, I might be rambling on and on. I really hope I'm not. I hope I'm really helping out a lot of you with this kind of stuff with carving, and I hope I'm putting out good information. You know, that's what these videos are about, for me to you, to help you guys out, for those of you that are learning, and to entertain those of you that are just here to be entertained. All right, guys, so back to the repair. Let's take a look here. This is what the Gorilla Glue looks like as it dries. You see the foam? This stuff is stickier than honey, so you don't want to reach in there and touch it. I let it make its mess. It will harden up once it sets up. Usually it takes like 4 to 5 hours. I let it set up overnight, and then I know it's good and solid. Hard enough to come through with the saw and just kind of kiss it all right off and clean it up and sand it and repaint it. That's usually what I end up doing. So I don't know, this might be it for this video though. You know, we covered fixing cracks, we talked about pricing a little bit, and some of those big questions a lot of you have had, hopefully I answered. All right, guys, so this might be it for this video. You know, kind of got talking about a bunch of different stuff here. We got talking about the repair and money and things, or pricing and stuff like that. And it's getting a little late, so I'm probably gonna end it short. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna finish the repair here off camera, and tomorrow we'll come back, carve it, sand it, and paint it. So today, if you watch this video today, I'm giving you the opportunity to ask questions. You know, ask me some questions down below in the description. It'll either be tomorrow or the next day. I'll put the video up finishing it, and I'll give you guys some time to ask questions, and I'll answer them in that video the best that I can. So hopefully that'll be able to help you all out, because I can't go live all the time. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video though. I really hope it's been helpful for you. Hopefully we'll be doing a lion here soon, so keep an eye out for that. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.